spiritual growth and raising your vibration is not boring. And I wanted to make this video because I got caught up in that mindset because of the lifestyle I was living. Because whenever you try to spiritually grow, it reveals where you're sinning, and you know that you can't continue on going to do those things. But sin is something that's addictive. You don't want to drop that, and that's what happened to me. I was at the time living a very, very, very unfulfilling but overstimulating lifestyle. Every weekend without fail, you'd see me at a club probably at least 2 times listening to EDM music, whether it be house, techno, trance. And really that's what it was, is the whole genre of music and a lot of popular music was very entrancing. And I think there's a lot of evil subliminals in it that is going to lead you towards a self-destructive lifestyle. And unfortunately, I went down that rabbit hole for a couple of years where clubbing, alcohol, smoking weed, all of that stimulation, that warped mindset and warped consciousness was something that was my king. I honestly lived for that. I was living for the weekend. And whenever I wasn't, I was going to college for film school at the time. And aside from doing my projects, I was doom scrolling, I was watching TVs and movies. I was using that as an excuse because I had a lot of hard work at school, so that allows me to slack in other areas, which is not the mindset to have. And I viewed working out and all of that stuff as something that's going to take my energy, when in reality it's something that provides you with more energy. The things that were taking my energy was watching porn at the time, which I don't do anymore, doom scrolling, and just constantly watching movies and TV, clubbing, and just sifting through Spotify with no end, just constantly for the entire day. Those were things that stagnated me and took my energy. Realistically, that wasn't something that was giving me energy. It just felt good in the moment. But if you look back on it after the fact, you feel like shit about it. Whereas if I do something fulfilling in the moments, whenever I started journaling, that became something in my life that was very fulfilling, and it was helping me to change my lifestyle. And I look back on it after the fact, and I would never be mad that I was journaling. It was always just in the moments because I was addicted to dopamine and I wasn't getting exactly what I wanted out of that. I had my perspective all wrong. But now the more you begin to do the hard work, the more you realize how much fulfillment is in that, because of how much God's grace has changed me away from lifestyles and endless insane loops that I never thought I was going to escape. I never thought there'd be a weekend where I missed the club. But here we are now, and it's been months and months, and I don't even have a desire to go there because my eyes are open to the fact of just how evil and sinister those environments are, which is something that I think I realized before, but was not willing to drop because I was so addicted to it. I was addicted to the dopamine. I was addicted to the instant gratification and the lust, all of that stuff. And it was really challenging to slow myself down and find stillness. But the moments that I accepted my sin and was willing to relinquish it and change and ask for help and do the hard work, everything, I swear, everything became so much easier. And that's not something I could even really put into words for you guys. It's going to be something that you have to experience. Because I'd been definitely guided a lot by people trying to help me out during that time in my life, but the only thing that helped me was going through the experience myself. But I hope that I do plant like a seed at the very least for you guys if you're going through this. But just realize you need to put in the hard work. You can't rely on other people to help you out. And start placing more importance on things that are going to help you and help you to grow, rather than things that are leading you to self-destruction, instant gratification, all of that stuff. Don't have your priorities mixed. Prioritize journaling over clubbing. Prioritize self-growth over destruction. And I just moved my camera with that one. That is how much this word is hopefully going to move you. And this lifestyle of going clubbing and overstimulation, it leads to loneliness because it numbs your emotions. Your receptors don't get as much gratification, honestly, from doing simple tasks like going out in nature. It's impossible to find stillness and appreciation in God's greatest gift, in my opinion, which, aside from life, is nature. But the moment that you're able to start slowing down, finding inner peace, then you can appreciate that more and find stillness. And that's a very important thing that we're really missing out on whenever we're feeding into this dopamine, this instant gratification. And that's what it's really designed to do, is just take you away from the greatest gifts of life, take you away from your connection to God, your relationship. It makes it so much harder because whenever you're engaging in that sin, you cannot connect with God without your sin being revealed. And people don't want their sin to be revealed. I didn't. It took a long time to accept the fact that what I was doing was not something I should be doing and to actually stop doing it. And the more that you're aware and you continue doing it, the worse it is, the worse it is. So honestly, whenever you get that nudge from God the first time, listen to it then, and he's going to reward you. Don't wait 50,000 times like I did, where you're going through guilt of doing that thing, but then you go back and do it again because it gives you this dopamine, and then you feel bad about it again because you know it's bad. And that is only going to continue to deepen your loneliness, sever your connection from God. That is not going to lead anywhere positive. It feels good in the moment, but that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to take you away from God with honestly seductive temptations. And seductive not even necessarily as in sexual, although lust is a very bad one. So stop watching porn if you're there too. And that's what it led to for me, was loneliness and despair. And it was only whenever I started connecting more with God that he helped ease those things within me. He helped me unrelease that bottled emotion. He helped me finally regain my connection with life, in the sense that I was living for the right purposes and not living for self-destructive tendencies like clubbing. I wasn't living for dopamine anymore. I was living for actual fulfilling things like connecting to God, journaling. And it's an amazing feeling once you start to grab fulfillment out of doing journaling, and it starts to become more fun. It's not ever boring. It's just honestly your opinion on things, your perspective. So in the moment now, take the time to start journaling, to do something more productive, and you're going to honestly not regret it, because it's going to help you so much out in the long run, and you're going to look back and be glad that you didn't waste that time like I did on loop doing the same thing and just deepening your pain, because that's not good. And do something productive. That's the honest message I just wanted to leave you off with, is to grow in spirit in the fun way. It doesn't have to be boring. And you can find ways to make it fun. Singing your affirmations or your prayer makes it more fun. Dancing around while doing it makes it more fun. And after time, you start recognizing how important these things are in your life. I was shortchanging it for so long. And whenever I was doing it, I wasn't putting in the full energy into it. I was just doing it out of habit or force. Like I was forcing myself to do it, but there was no real emotion behind it. In fact, there was frustration, which made it just worse. But the moment I shifted my perspective on things, I found more comfort in stillness and delayed gratification. The more I was able to respect just how important it was and what I was doing wrong, and how I was able to change myself, change my lifestyle, change my perspective on things in order to finally grow and get that growth that I was looking for years in the wrong places. And it became rapid. It was something that was like almost instant the moment that I started picking up this journal and writing. Things that I had been hoping to go away for years finally faded, and I no longer had that insane that insane attraction towards these self-destructive lifestyles like clubbing. Now I could care less about going to clubs because I know the evil that is behind it. And I don't want to lower my vibration, because once you raise your vibration, you know what it feels like to lower your vibration. When you're constantly in a state of low vibration, you don't feel that change because you're stagnant and you're away from God. You're not feeling that high vibration. But it's a terrible feeling to get yourself into a high vibration state and then lower it willingly. And that feeling alone is going to get you to go away from your sinning and your bad habits and negative loops and patterns. And if it doesn't, it's just going to worsen. But start raising your vibration, doing things to raise your vibration. And I promise you, God's grace is going to help you, and everything is going to become so much easier. You're not going to feel this loneliness. Even now, I have the same amount of friends as I did back then when I was feeling lonely and doing nothing. But my lifestyle was deepening that loneliness. Now that I'm feeling closer to God, there is no loneliness. I know that everything is going to come in time. I'm going to have more amazing relationships. But the relationship with God is enough for now. I don't need anything else more. But if you're not having that relationship with God, and you're not getting that satisfaction from other people in the relationships, then it's just going to deepen your loneliness. So find God, delay your gratification, do something productive, and grow in the spirit. Ascend, rise your vibration, and you are going to feel so much better. I love you guys. Have a good one.